In the early morning of last October 27, a restaurant on Maryville Road burned to the ground. A beautiful German Shepherd pup trapped in the basement was given up for loss. But when the embers had cooled sufficiently and firemen began to probe among the charred pile of soot and debris, they found the dog lying almost unconscious in a pool of water in the basement. While the restaurant, Sullivan's Kitchen, burned furiously just outside the city limits, and Nepean firemen were hampered by lack of water, Mountie the dog was trapped in the smoke and heat in the basement. Mountie, believed dead, his owner and owner of 2-year-old restaurant James Pellicos had given the dog up for loss. But when firemen reached him many hours after the fire was out, he was still very much alive. So much so, in fact, that he was nursed back to health in a week or so and is today the prized pet and possession of the Nepean Fire Department, lord and master of the brand new Nepean Fire Hall at Bell's Quarters. To look at the beautiful 2-year-old dog today, you would never believe he had survived such an ordeal. According to Nepean Fire Chief Leo Driscoll, the dog's eyes were the most seriously injured of any part of his body. They were so red and inflamed that he was blind for 3 or 4 days. Apparently the dog had survived by lying in a pool that became quite deep as firemen poured more and more water onto the flames. His slick coat was hardly singed, but the smoke had dried out his skin, inflamed his eyes, and so upset his stomach that it was touch and go whether the poor beast would live for the first week after his adoption. But he rallied quickly, and today, with the first sound of the fire alarm, he is the first one in his seat atop one of the apartment's red pumpers. Mr. Pellicos recently gave the dog to the fire department, and there he stays 24 hours a day at the fire hall, a real fire eater and truly baptized.